Welcome to Seize the Mains by Malhotra's IAS Academy. I am Surbhi Sardana and this is season 3 of our daily answer writing initiative. This answer writing initiative is running in coordination with our website, which is rajayasacademy.com. The link to our website is present in the description, so do check it out after you finish watching this video. On our website, there is this mains answer writing section which has been fully allocated to Seize the Mains. All the questions and answers that we discuss here are from current affairs. Also, a model answer for the question that we bring out for mains perspective that gets discussed here from Monday to Saturday at 9 p.m. and the entire content is updated on our website. So in the mains answer writing section, you can see all the questions that have been discussed till date on Seize the Mains. Check the answers out, check the questions out, and if you are confident enough, and I would recommend that you write your own answers even if you do not have the confidence. Just write your answers and post pictures of your answers in the comment section that appears under each and every question. Our team will evaluate your answers entirely free of cost and give back their feedback, a very detailed feedback along with the marks that you deserve for the answer that you're writing. Let's begin with today's topic. It is National Food Security Act 2013. Let's see what is the question with regards to National Food Security Act. So the question for day 178. Some 150 million people in the country remain excluded from the public distribution system even as the NFSA, that is National Food Security Act, enters its 10th year in 2023. What are the features of NFSA? What are the possible reasons associated with such exclusions? Answer in 250 words. See the latest issue of Down to Earth magazine, the cover story of Down to Earth magazine for its latest issue. This is this is the statement that has been directly taken from there. This is the exact statement of Down to Earth magazine, that some 150 million people in the country remain excluded from the PDS system covered under NFSA. So what are the features of NFSA? That's a direct question that has been asked to you. So features of NFSA or any of the old acts that has been popular and that has created a major change in the country or through the government, those features, they should be clear to you. That is static part of the syllabus. What are the possible reasons associated with such exclusions? So from time to time, more and more reasons come to the limelight, and Down to Earth magazine in this latest issue, they have published a detailed research on the exclusions under NFSA. What are the problems there and why so many people are excluded and what can be done? So that is the entire question. Looks very long, but the question is very simple. The answer is going to be very simple. As usual, what we'll do is we'll start by writing an introduction. See, your answers should have a structure. You cannot directly pick the second line or the third line or the first line and start writing about whatever you feel like, whatever comes to your mind. Pause the video when you read the question. Just scribble on a paper with the help of a pen and just try to think of a structure for your answer. How should you be approaching this answer? Is there a flow chart that you can use in any part of the answer? Will you be taking the paragraph approach, or will you be writing in pointers, or would your answer be framed like a flow chart only? Would you skip the regular way of writing and you'll be expressing in terms of flow charts only? So that should be clear, and you can get a strong hold over presentation with practice only. This is something that can come with practice only. So watch these videos on a daily basis. Also practice answer writing with us on a daily basis. Whether you're posting answers or not, make sure that after watching the video, whatever you can remember, whatever you can understand, at least you jot down those points on paper as your answer. So let's begin by writing an introduction about NFSA. What is National Food Security Act? What was its significance? How did it change, how did it provide right to food, or as it is popularly known as Right to Food Act? Let's see what is NFSA about, and also we'll be talking about basic features of NFSA here itself. Then the crude features, the exact features, would be taken in body paragraph 1. So the NFSA or National Food Security Act, also known as the Right to Food Act, it aims to provide subsidized food grains to approximately 2/3 of the country's population. So see, that's a very simple definition of NFSA, simplest definition that can appear. The enactment of this landmark legislation brought a paradigm shift in approach to food security. So this is very important. paradigm shift to food security from welfare to rights based approach, that right to food act as we call it. So access to food or having food, accessible food is right of citizens of India. It is not something, a welfare based, it is not something that the government or any agency does out of welfare for those people. So having access to food is right of people. That was established by National Food Security Act. So that's a very powerful statement. Whenever you're writing about NFSA, do not forget to write the statement there. The NFSA converts into legal entitlements for existing food security programs. This is how it functions of the Government of India. It includes the midday meal scheme is included here, integrated child development services scheme, and the PDS scheme, public distribution scheme. This is where the question has been framed. So further, the NFSA 2013 recognizes maternity entitlements. The midday meal scheme and the ICDS, these are universal in nature, whereas the PDS, public distribution scheme, it reaches about 2/3 of the population, 75% of population in rural areas and 50% in urban areas. So here in this first paragraph, if you can see, you have highlighted major features of NFSA. You've talked about it, you've talked about its significance here. Again, I'm reiterating, just go through these points and mention these schemes also, that NFSA is not just about public distribution of PDS. It is not about public distribution system of food grains. It is not just about PDS of food grains. It is all about, your ICDS, midday meal scheme also. They also get covered under NFSA. So moving on to the body paragraph 1, the salient features of the act are as under. The first one is coverage and entitlement. So this is up to 75% of rural population and 50% of urban population with uniform entitlement of 5 kg per person per month ration. Second is identification of households. This is entirely left to the state and the union territory governments. So the work of identification of eligible households is to be done by states and UTs. The third one is maternity benefit. Pregnant women and lactating mothers, they are entitled to receive maternity benefit of not less than 6,000 rupees, no matter which state they are in. Then you have the nutritional support, again for pregnant women and lactating mother and children in the age group of 6 months to 14 years. They are entitled to meals as per prescribed nutritional norms under ICDS, that is your midday meal scheme, Poshan Abhiyan. Then you have women empowerment. Women empowerment, when you talk about it, that ration cards for a family, they are registered in the name of eldest woman of the family who's above the age of 18 years. Then you have grievance redressal, again that has been left to the state or UT governments. They can use the existing infrastructure also for grievance redressal. Then how to ensure transparency and accountability, provisions regarding social audits, setting up of vigilance committees, disclosure of PDS records, etc. So that has been brought in. Then you have food security allowance. In certain cases where food grains cannot be provided to eligible beneficiaries, these beneficiaries are entitled to food grains, food allowances, food security allowances, if meals and food grains cannot be provided. So this was seen in the case of midday meal schemes that could not be provided during the COVID-19 pandemic. So either food grains were delivered to actual households of children, either food grains were delivered, or it was or other kinds of benefits were given, food allowances were given, food security allowances were given. Then finally moving to the most important part, this is your current part of the question, current affairs part of the question, why NFSA fails to deliver to so many eligible beneficiaries. So NFSA enters its 10th year in 2023. This is something that we are taking from the question itself. So far, its estimate of beneficiaries has been based on population data from census of 2011. After that, after census of 2011, big changes in our population have occurred. That means a lot of people have have become beneficiaries which might not have been identified by census 2011. With the next census postponed, new estimates are not available. So that basically briefly highlights where the problem is coming from. Now we'll talk about the problem. What are the reasons for non-identification or non-delivery of services to beneficiaries? The government's reliance on decade-old data due to a delay in census has resulted in exclusion of millions from the safety net of NFSA and it has decreased the number of beneficiaries entitled to subsidized food grains. Secondly, the Act's guaranteed coverage of the 75% of rural and 50% urban population. It adds up to 67% of total population. And now it does not, this act does not cover 75% of rural and 50% of urban population in all the states. Based on poverty levels of various states, different percentages for different states have been covered, and basically this is like a reservation. More like poor states get more coverage under NFSA, and richer states which have less poverty, they get less coverage. Now this reservation that was allocated to states when NFSA was brought in based on the old census, that data has also changed. So now probably there are states which are poorer than before, and they want more allocation out of the 75% and 50%. So they want more budgetary allocation or more resources under NFSA to cover all the people who fall under poverty line, or who are beneficiaries in these states. So more people have entered, and the census data is old. Secondly, reservation for states based on poverty levels, that must have definitely changed because the census has not been updated. So according to census 2011, the country's total population was 1.2 billion. Hence the quota was set to cover 813 million people, justified. However, the center fixed a separate state-wise quota based on population and poverty data. This is where the catch is. But while the population has increased since 2011, the quota, it is yet to be adjusted accordingly. So this quota has to be revised. Probably there were states who were getting lesser benefits under NFSA. Now they require more benefits because more people are poorer as compared to before. So that is the reason that even though these states are covered by NFSA, still they cannot give a lot of benefit to their population, and this is the case especially with poor states like down to earth covered the states like Jharkhand and Bihar, Jharkhand especially. So this is the case mostly in like poorer states. Then you have there is a large scale cancellation or deletion of ration cards in the country, because of a lot of documents have to be identified, some documents have to be supplied, otherwise the ration cards get cancelled. Secondly, the central government has been saying that there were fraudulent beneficiaries. So the number of people who were actually registered, that is also going down. So due to the cancellation and deletion of names, the entire family suffer. And sometimes when people are very poor, or probably they're living in tribal areas, they do not understand these official figures or how these legal battles are to be fought, or or which office to approach if they have to get benefits. Most of the times they do not get informed also if their ration card has been deleted, their name has been deleted as a beneficiary of PDS. So the center claims names are constantly being removed from the list due to people not meeting the eligibility criteria. That could be due to unavailability of some important documents, while new names are being added. The logic behind deleting ration cards is that first, per capita income has increased, so that is the reason that the government has given. Second, it is the part of weeding out ineligible, fake and ghost beneficiaries. The fourth one is obviously institutional infrastructure for delivering the provisions of Food Act is poor. You can add as many examples as you want here. Finally, there are a lot of ghost beneficiaries. So there is a quota that is fixed, 75% for rural areas, 50% for urban areas. And many a times the quota that is given to the states, they have already exceeded that. So what state governments do is under their own acts of state government, they provide benefits or free food grains to the poor population of their state. But that also occurs till a limit. That also can happen to a limit. And this is partly because there are a lot of beneficiaries which are above poverty line, which are not that poor to be entitled to free food grains or to be entitled to subsidized food grains. And these are known as ghost beneficiaries. And due to their presence, the actual beneficiaries, the actual people who need PDS, they are not getting the benefits. Then you have the middlemen also, that people are not able to avail the benefits which they are entitled to because of the presence of middlemen. So these are 4-5 points which talk about why even in 10th year of NFSA there are a lot of beneficiaries, at least 100 to 150 million beneficiaries which are out of this benefits of PDS. In the conclusion, obviously end up with a solution. If you have a solution backed by some report or somebody who's well versed enough when it comes to public distribution system, when it comes to PDS, definitely quote them in your answer and add a solution towards your conclusion, or just give a broad conclusion or give a broad way forward. So the Food Act has revolutionized the access to food grains, that goes without saying. However, the structural bottlenecks in the implementation of Food Bill or Food Act should be corrected by leverage of technology. These structural bottlenecks, they could be corrected by leveraging technology. Now, you do not have to run after papers and to be able to find out who is actual beneficiary, who is actually living under very poor conditions to be able to get benefits out of NFSA. So that is not the condition, that is not the state anymore. Plus, this solution was suggested in the Down to Earth magazine itself. So for example, data from e-Shram registration portal, it can be used to identify excluded beneficiaries until the new census data is available. So if you want to identify which people are the actual poorest of the poor people and who are the actual beneficiaries who should be actually recognized and getting benefits under the PDS or NFSA, then find out this data, e-Shram registration data. People have registered their economic status also, people have registered their Aadhaar cards also there. So all that information is available. So if you want to save people out of hunger, bring them out of poverty, find out people from there, recognize them from there and provide them with subsidized food grains. That is the way forward here. Feel free to writing way forwards and conclusions. Your conclusions are all about creativity. Inculcate more and more creativity in your answers, especially towards the concluding paragraphs. More facts, more data in your introductions, and your body paragraphs, they should always have some new points, some different points which makes your answer stand out when it comes to other competitors taking the same exam. Put a lot of examples, put a lot of data in your body paragraphs. So that's the entire answer for the day. Look for question 178 on our website rajiasacademy.com. The link to this website is available in the description. Just click on it, visit the website, check out mains answer writing section, which is here, and just check out this answer. Question 178 is the day, and I'll see you with another discussion tomorrow of Seize the Mains at 9 p.m. Till then, just stay tuned to the channel, keep working hard, and all the best.